on Sunday on episode 5, we're going to talk about all the research that we have gathered, not just with this week, looking at individuals in many sports coming off of injuries, how they're treated during their injuries, and how they make the transition from going from the injury rehab onto the field and looking at step by step how they're taken care of. We're going to look at some of the great success stories. We're going to look at also at the same time the factor of CT and the education on that, which is great, valuable, important. And we're going to continue to talk about Trevor Walsh and the scholarships that are taking place there with everything. The last thing that we're going to talk about when we talk live on Sunday is the fact of how much data, how much public media is going to be coming out in the next 2 weeks. And there is so much coming out. The fact of the matter that information is information, and it is going to be expressed in so many different ways. So do not miss this Sunday as we talk with Craig regarding the most important avenue, which is episode 5 on the education. Good evening. We are here in North Ridgeville at Jalapenos, and we are with Anthony James. We're going to be talking about Project 3 and all the communication that's coming out here within the next few weeks. Of course, we have episode 5 coming out today. Alex will be the producer of that and have that all intact. I'm going back to the side. We'll leave Anthony James as the center of attention today and let him go ahead and communicate. And I'm back to my original from the side, looking from the distance. And at that point, I will see and speak on everything. So today, well, of course, we're going to naturally continue to work with Matt Zimnick and his family, and Rob and Sarah, his wife, regarding Trevor Walsh's scholarship. Tomorrow I'll be having a chance to go ahead, and at that time we'll have a chance to go ahead and definitely work forward on all of that.
Really a tragic accident this past December, and we really want to keep his memory alive through this scholarship effort. And I think it'd be a great way to pay it forward, and really think it's something that Trevor really would have wanted to do, because that's just the kind of guy he was, always thinking of others and always trying to help other people all the time. So
we are excited to see some foundations willing to talk with us, and we want everybody to please touch base with definitely with Matt in regards to everything and who will want to help out and allow that to take place. 1 year ago, maybe a little over 1 year ago, we started in North Ridgeville a scholarship foundation with the Lorraine community, and there was a lot of interference in that regards. We are now pushing forward in all regards when it comes to the fact that we definitely are going to be putting, again, that scholarship in Matthew Morrow's name, senior, and we were going to be talking about how that's going to transpire, so that now there will also be all scholarships and many scholarships out there that have been put in place, be taking place, and we would appreciate to have everybody's help and for everybody to come forward so that we can get that help out there for everybody in all the communities.
Scholarships are huge for any student athlete or any student, period, to help them continue that education going into the next level. I mean, the more education we get as people, as a person, the better we are in life.
Absolutely. And it's always about helping, not about interfering. It's about helping. That's the concept, and that's what scholarships, and that's what life is about. In regards to help, the most important thing that we're going to be talking about today is the realm of communication. And we're going to talk about eventually at the end here, we're going to be talking in regards to looking at the communication with coaches and talking at the same time the communication, not just with coaches, but the players, and both of them talking and communicating, which is so important. But, there's sometimes injuries that are involved. CT, when they're talking about concussions, that's a giant piece in many sports.
Yes.
And the fact of the matter that, individuals that are educated by the professionals, are educated on how to be safe, on how to take care of yourself for the long point of your life, and understand that if you're going to be active and playing, but safety is still important, is giant. And it's great because the fact that if you look at 20, 30 years ago, they didn't have that education.
No.
So now we have that opportunity to learn, to grow, and next week we're going to be talking about some research data that ties into that across Project 3 on many individuals that are tied into going through the education process, and many coaches and programs and athletic departments that are learning on that end. Because when you quit learning and you're not open to learn, you might as well not do it, because
Everything's already past it.
absolutely, I like that statement. That's giant. So the next big thing, you and I had a nice long conversation today, AJ, and we talked about a player, a student athlete, anybody coming off of an injury, and being able to be communicated to at all times is so giant.
Yeah, the development of the player too. I mean, injuries happen at any level, whichever sport. They never come at the timely time that we want.
Sure.
It's, as a coach, you have to communicate with that player. Yeah, we have to fill their void, but that's when our other players need to step up and fill that void. I don't care if it's baseball, football, hockey. It's being able to develop them and give them that maturity and give them the right head. Not, I got to get back out there. Let me get out there. I'm hurt still, but let me over push it and get hurt again.
Absolutely.
Yes. I mean, you also have to look at it too. There's injuries and there's being hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Injuries is something that's major. You know what? You're going to have to sit down a couple days, a couple weeks, and you have to talk not only with your coach, but with your athletic trainers. Especially all schools should have an athletic trainer.
Mm-hmm.
But that communication between the three, the coach, the player, and the athletic training, should be there, and it should be wide open. There should nothing be hidden. There shouldn't be, I know, like, we look at old movies like Varsity Blues.
Mm-hmm.
They would kind of hush stuff, but you know what? Why risk a student athlete's life?
Absolutely.
Why risk their life by doing something stupid just to win one game or a season?
And coaches out there that think that coaching is about winning, it's not. Winning's not about that one game. Winning's not about the whole anything except the whole future of the student athletes in your program.
Lives.
Absolutely.
That's all. That's what coaching truly is.
Absolutely. I like that statement. I love that statement. You're right, AJ. You're right. So in that regards, there's so many great stories out there in Project 3 along so many communities.
Where I sat down with the NFL coaches on the podcast, and the thing that I took away from them is, while all of these guys have a high emotional intelligence, you can tell guys all problems. They know how to hear what a person needs and build trust and be able to help them and work together.
Right. But there's so many coaches that are now learning how to communicate better. And sometimes that takes a student athlete coming to the coach and saying, hey, I've been injured. You haven't communicated with me. I know that the job's mine. I know that, right now I'm injured. But at the same time, we need to communicate.
Whether their job is that players or not, it's always nice to have somebody to push you to even get better. Even if you're good, it's always better to get better. I mean,
absolutely.
That's why I fell in love with college.
Absolutely. You and I had the opportunity where you had a chance to play for me. We had a chance to coach together. And I use that word because when all coaches are on a staff, doesn't matter who's the head coach or whatever, we're all coaching together.
It's working together, communication.
Absolutely, you're a team. And the fact of the matter is, there were times when, maybe there was an injury, or maybe there was tiredness, maybe there was whatever it may be. But the fact of the matter is, there was the willingness of two individuals. Might not like the words at the moment.
Right.
Maybe you do like the words at the moment, or maybe either side don't like the words at the moment. But the communication still takes place. The openness is still there, and that's how you give 100% of growth for the coach, the student athlete, and everybody in the program, so that there's openness that's taking place.
I think the biggest thing, the main focus as a coach, communicate with your players, be open with them, be honest, so that way they can be open and be honest back to us about having an injury or being hurt. And as a coach, you can't make that player feel that big.
Right.
You have to work with them to actually develop them to keep getting better.
Absolutely. And when they're coming back, you stay with them. When they're coming back, no, you just stay with them. You help them develop step by step. It's honestly like if they're coming back in the middle of the season sometimes, and heck, we watch this at the college level, at the pro level, and every single sport. It's almost like spring training, where they're starting or preseason in other sports. The fact that they're coming back step by step. You have to stick with them. You have to let them make their mistakes. You have to keep that communication open and let them succeed for their future.
All about the future.
Absolutely. I like that.
Right there.
Future is the future, and we will see you next week as we talk more on Project 3, and we are going to talk about all the varsity, JV, freshman, junior high, and, of course, elementary coming in place when it comes to Project 3 and athletics. We'll talk soon.
Have a great day.